I feel so empowered now with like the skills that like Kevin taught us, and just like this entire process of starting like my first initiative, I feel like really like, much more confident about being bold and being like, wow, like if I have an idea, then I can do it. Like why wait for someone else to do it or lead me on it when I can be the one driving the boat, you know?
Yeah, you drive that boat, Cindy. Hi everyone, we're back with another episode of ZhenEd Generation Inspiration. Today I have the wonderful Cindy joining us. All right, so Cindy, I'm gonna try to be quiet and let you speak. Tell us who you are, where are you from, what are some of your hobbies?
Yeah, so hi everyone, my name is Cindy Sue. I'm originally from Minnesota, but I currently live in Massachusetts, and I go to Phillips Exeter, like Eric, and I'm a sophomore there. On campus, I like to do MUN, I'm a crew athlete, I also like to dance. Just in the meantime, I hang out with my friends, and I love discovering new music. It's like one of my favorite weekend pastimes, so yeah.
And wow, this is all news to me. I didn't know you did MUN or road crew or you did dance. This is all news to me. Anyways, can you tell us a little bit about your initiative, the ExieBlog? What is that? How did you come up with the idea?
Yeah, so the ExieBlog is a website that I made over the summer, and it's a website aimed to provide resources and advice to some new students that are accepted into Exeter every year. And so this information is all coming from returning students, and we cover like almost any topic that new students have questions about. So that can be anything from like classes to dorms to packing and more. So our mission is really just to like promote dialogue and community between like the new and old students. And especially this year is really hard because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I think like this was a really good year to like launch this because it really helped people like connect with each other.
Wonderful. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the timeline. I think when people hear about building a website, it can be very daunting. They don't know how long it takes or what exactly is involved. And I know you kind of partnered with the school a little bit, so you used Exeter Connect. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So initially, this idea was born just like in Kevin's webinar series after I took it in May of 2020. And then I like kind of just went out on a limb, and I was like, I can't really do this by myself because it's like about the school. So I wanted to make sure all the information I was putting out was consistent with what the school wanted to put out, and also I wanted to help them reach more students because the school is obviously going to have more connections to their new students. So I sent an email to one of our class advisors, and they just helped me really hash out everything that I wanted to do with the website, and they connected me with who runs, like the people, the faculty that run Exeter Connect, and they were like, yeah, we can totally set up a website for you. So actually the ExieBlog is now like a website on the official Exeter Connect website, which is what the students use to like see all the information about like the school. So it's really often visited, and that's been super beneficial. And actually I like basically take care of all like the designing and like uploading of new content. And so it did take a while, probably like 30 hours, just like putting everything on the website and just like designing and that kind of thing. But after I got it set up, it's super easy to use. And yeah, the school just kind of just entrusted me with the website, and they were just like, go for it. And I just
Wow,
like,
very
yeah,
hands
did it.
off, right? They weren't like helicopter patrolling. They were just like, yeah, we believe you can do it, Cindy. Don't blow anything up. Yeah, maybe you could pull up the website and share it with us. So I think it would be
Yeah,
really neat for people to see it because I can't even access it since I'm not a current student.
yeah, let me pull that up.
There it is. Awesome.
Yeah, it's under Student Connect, if you will. But this is kind of what our website homepage looks like. And so we have like all of our cool homepage stuff. And on the sidebar, we have like our blog posts, which is probably like the core of ExieBlog. I've organized them into like dorm features, as well as we have some like other advice in general.
Mm.
And Yeah, you
Well,
can.
what's going on with Langdale Hall? You got like 489 views versus Eamon with 86. Oh, that was posted in July. Okay.
Yeah, it's been posted differently, but yeah, these all have like a significant amount of views, and like I'm really happy about it because like we don't always have time to promote every single article, so
Right.
I'm really glad people are coming back on their own and like checking these. Oh,
489 is a lot considering there's only 1,000 students at Exeter.
yeah, that was published on the day we launched the website, so that's
Mhm.
probably why there's a ton of views. And we've also held some like live events in the past. So we held like a study tips webinar, and we also held like an academic webinar. I think like these were pretty well attended with like 30 and 50 students at each.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was really great to see everyone and really help them out with what we had.
That is so cool. Oh my gosh, so cool. I love all the pictures and the photos. I really think it adds so much more authenticity to the initiative. And even just seeing like those dorm photos. I remember there was this one photo of McConnell. I think there was like a blog post, or I forgot which one of your friends wrote it, but it was like the photos really made it look so professional and legit. I guess that's a good segue, but if you could share maybe what are you most proud of when it came to launching this initiative?
Yeah, so I guess there are two things. So one thing, I was just really proud of myself for, making that leap and not being scared to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do it if no one else is gonna do it. Like, because I was really surprised that there was not a thing like this before I got to Exeter. And so I was like, well, if no one else is going to do it, then I should be the one to do it. Like, I'm not going to wait for other people continue to let this problem slide of like people not knowing what Exeter is like and like being scared when they come into Exeter. I think that was also another driving force. So that was one thing that I was just proud of myself for doing. But another thing that I was super proud of was after I got to Exeter and like I started having online classes. There's a bug flying in my room. After I got to Exeter, I was sitting in biology class. It was the first day, and we were in breakout rooms. After we like discussed whatever we were supposed to do, one girl, like it was kind of silent and awkward, and then one girl, she was a junior actually, and she's new, and she told me, "Hey, aren't you the girl that started ExieBlog?" And like I cannot tell you how surprised and happy I felt at that moment. And I was like, yeah, like I started that. Like, did you see it? And she said, yeah, like it helped me so much with transitioning to Exeter and really finding out like about my dorm and that kind of thing. And like to see someone tell me that directly and say that it helped them so much, I think that's like what really told me and made me realize, wow, like my initiative did have an impact on someone. Yeah. And like this kept happening even after I got to Exeter, and like people would stop me on the paths. I was sitting with my friends and they like do a double take and they're like, wait, aren't you like that girl? And I'm like, yeah, like, and so I think that's like one of my like happiest moments, just
Wow.
like, yeah, hearing people tell me, yeah, it really helped.
So basically, what I'm hearing is Cindy hacked together this website and then slowly, maybe not even slowly, just like became a celebrity at Exeter. People are doing double takes like, oh my gosh, is that the Cindy Sue? That's amazing. Well, what about maybe things that didn't go so well? Things like some roadblocks. Do you have any like regrets, or what were some of the challenges when it came to launching the ExieBlog?
Yeah, I think working with the school was like kind of a double-edged sword kind of thing where it's like they really helped me a lot with like in terms of website and helping me promote the blog, but it also was hard at first to like learn to like really work with them and like figure out what works for both of us, because after all, like I am a student at their school, so it's like I wanted to make sure that everything was together with what they wanted out there. And so there were like a little bit of like miscommunications. There was this one example where like they didn't want me to use an outside mailing service like MailChimp because they wanted everything inside the school system. And like that makes total sense. But I just got scared because I got a scary email in the morning and they're like, you need to stop using MailChimp. They were a little small scares, a little bit, but I really learned to work with the faculty and like have them like review all the content that gets posted, and that like just ends up working really well for all of us. So that was something that I had to learn how to do, and also just like learning how to manage other students and keeping them engaged with what we're working on and that kind of thing. Assigning people to like write articles or like assigning people to make videos. At first that was a little hard because I felt like I guess I am doing everything, but it was hard for me to manage at first because I was like, there are so many things I need to do and I'm so worried about this and that. But then after I like really talked it out with Kevin and my faculty advisors, they really helped me like figure out how do I do one thing at a time and approach it and do it well, and just make sure that the students that are writing and creating content, that their voices are getting heard and they're as involved in the process as possible.
Yeah, I think that the nature of your project is so different from many of the other projects because you're constantly collaborating, working with others, because you have Cindy in the middle, the hub, and then you have the academy and talking to people there. Then you have managing the people who write blog posts, and then you actually have like the target ExieBlog audience, which are like new and incoming students. So you are juggling all of these different responsibilities and duties, and you did a really awesome job, by the way. But when it comes to that, and this could be about what you just talked about, or it could be something different, but what kind of advice do you have for kids who maybe like a Cindy in May or April? What advice would you give those kids who are thinking about an initiative or just getting started?
This is a little more general, but I think just like don't take yourself too seriously. I think we get caught up a lot of times with our grades or like our friendships, dramas, or like you get really stressed out about one thing. And like I think it's all about like the learning process and knowing that like each day you have an opportunity to do something else, because I didn't make the ExieBlog overnight. Like that would have been impossible. It's definitely good to set goals for yourself, but don't feel pressured to do everything all at once. At the beginning, I was a little bit like that, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have so many things I need to do. That really like kind of killed my spark. But then after I was able to like take a step back, I can take things like a little bit at a time, just really reflecting on like what I've already done and being proud of it.
Yeah, this is some really sage advice from Cindy. I feel like whenever I talk to Cindy, I'm talking to like a 20-year-old young person. So what's in store for the future and how can we help?
So in the future, I think ExieBlog is something really that I want to be a gift to Exeter, kind of like my legacy, because I'm so grateful to Exeter and what it's given me. So if I come back in like 10 years and I see that the ExieBlog is still running, I think that would be like my biggest strength, because it's like, wow, I'm still helping students and new Exonians even after I leave. How I'm doing that now is I'm working with student council to see if I can make it into some sort of like project that they do every year, whether it be a committee or, and I'm also trying to engage tour guides and admissions to like, you know, have a constant source of people that are making content, because obviously this year it's really hard and they can't like invite people on campus to do tours. So I think this would be a really good opportunity for everyone to like keep sharing their own advice and maybe even opening this up to potential students as well in the future. Yeah, that's like my long-term hopes and dreams for ExieBlog. And for me as a person, like in initiatives wise, I'm kind of like a STEM businessy person. So I like to mix those two together. So I'm actually working with some of my friends, including some of them are Kevin's graduates. And we're working together on creating projects to help youth learn more about computer science and AI. And we're planning like a learn-a-thon in the future.
Ooh.
And just like I feel so empowered now with like the skills that like Kevin taught us, and just like this entire process of starting like my first initiative, I feel like really like, much more confident about being bold and being like, wow, like if I have an idea, then I can do it. Like why wait for someone else to do it or lead me on it when I can be the one driving the boat, you know?
Yeah, you drive that boat, Cindy. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me and share your experience with everyone else. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.